empire gained massive amounts of wealth throughout the period. After Christopher Columbus proved the validity of the new Western Hemisphere, Spain was able to first capitalize on the investment. Treaty of Tordesillas, the Pope gained Spain the prospect of West lands, the imaginary drawn line west coast of Brazil, while Portugal gained little to the east. They were only allowed to trade and get colonies in the west of that line. The Strait of Magellan was also found, which led them across South America into China. In about 1490, the Spanish began the Western expedition to find areas with massive deposits of gold and silver. They had massive success in conquest through much of Mexico and what is South America today. Much of what is regarded under the conquistadors and Hernan Cortez. Empires such as the Aztecs, Mayans, Incas were all ravished by Spanish and eventually coexisted together. Later, they adopted the encomienda system, which people were forced into labor to work for the government. Two forms of ruling governments of Spain in the New World was the Viceroyalties of Spain in 1521 and the Viceroyalty of Peru in 1542. This was very easy for conquest due to similar administrative structures and religious and secular power. They created a caste system and class identifications to rate the purity of one's bloodline to Spanish origin in these colonies. Las Castas was created to decipher between races, and a huge mountain of silver was found in the Mita, which means the forced labor like the Incas. And 150,000 tons of silver was found in their search for precious metals. They became the richest country in the world. But this did not account for the inflation, making them collect the same amount of money each year while only paying a fraction of what it used to cost. Charles then lost his dreams of an interconnected European empire and handed the throne over to Ferdinand. This led to many wars and a Dutch rebellion, and the Spanish Armada was defeated as the Dutch claimed the East Indies. The Portuguese Empire followed. In the Portuguese Empire, Vasco da Gama introduced Europeans to the Indian Ocean trade. Zhang He later died in the Yongle Empire, opening up trade throughout the Indian Ocean. Success of the Yongle were not interested in trade, only protecting land from the people of the steppes. Portugal was resource poor, so they were forced to focus on trade. They had some coastline and contained a subsequent amount of Muslims in the Iberian Peninsula. This brought stability to Portugal, at the forefront of map making and a school for sailing, giving them an advance against every country. Da Gama made it across the Indian Ocean and made it to Calcutta. They captured and controlled cities, making trade post empires. They captured other ships and forts and cartiers. These were trade treaties allowing Portugal to trade with neighboring cities. Portugal themselves then became transporters of the fine metals to China in exchange for needed resources. The Dutch Empire then continued. They were the first to dominate by the Dutch East Indian Company at the turn of the era. The Dutch controlled much of the Spice Islands along with Britain. The Dutch decided to travel to east of Malacca in order to find what is to be said massive amounts of pepper and spices. In order to get into the lucrative trade, the Dutch had to find some way to displace Portugal from the East Indies. But they over-imported pepper, decreasing the value and making it easy to come by in Netherlands. In order to fix this ongoing issue, the Hague, the representative body of Netherlands, convinced all the provinces to come together to form one entity. In turn, it would monopolize the East India trade. It consisted of 17 members called the Heren 17. This company was run by the government and was able to hire whoever they wanted and also wage war on other countries. The VOC acted as a state within a state. They even engaged in numerous wars ranging from Africa to the East Indies. The main goal of the Dutch government was not to please people or expand the empire, it was mainly to make money. By having so much wealth, they were able to have low interest rates, fund wars, and ongoing expeditions much faster. Having an active investing population propped up much of the economy and allowed for lower risk and an efficient market. They eventually controlled all parts of the spice trade and gained much wealth from it, and the trade monopoly within China, India, and Indonesia. I hope you learned from this video. And Pep, on to you.